Welcome back to the show. Actor, singer, humanitarian activist. It's hard to put just one label on Harry Belafonte. Over half a century, Belafonte has broken through social and racial barriers in every aspect of his work. And he's fought tirelessly for civil rights, justice, and equality around the world. Now, at 84, he's releasing his autobiography called My Song. And next Monday, HBO will premiere a new documentary about his life called Sing Your Song. I recently sat down with him to talk protests, the president, and the future of America. It is indeed an honor for me to have on the show one of the men I most admire, Harry Belafonte.
It is great to be with you, Reverend.
Good to be with you.
In your new incarnation.
Thank you.
You wear it
Since
well.
you brought me through several of my incarnations. Let me start by talking about the book and the documentary. You say in your book that you learned, let me put up this quote, what you learned as a little boy. You say, I see the little boy I was in all his complexities, angry and hurt, almost always alone. Yet, why this little boy among all others should use his anger to push himself up, make a name for himself. Well, what do you think that was that pushed you and made you be different than one would think, given the environment and given your social isolation?
I would say that the first in human form was my mother. Her immigrant life, her own view of the world in which she brought us into was consistently challenging to her, and she built up this resistance to oppression. The other factor was just poverty. The experience of poverty, I think, shapes a lot in one's character. You can go wrong or go right. And I'm making moral statements. I'm just following that path. And for me, fortunately, there were enough mentors, enough people out doing the thing. There was Paul Robeson, there was Dr. DuBois, there was Eleanor Roosevelt. In our community was Langston Hughes and Zora Neale Hurston. And just a lot of folks who took the challenge. And then by the time the Second World War came, and I got involved with that rounded out the picture for me from a universal perspective. I saw our human commonality with the events that unfolded during that war. When I came back to America, expecting that all the things that we had preached about that war, for democracy, to end racism, to have no superior race, but all people come together in a social harmony, just was denied black people en masse. And we had a choice to give in to that or to rebel against it. And many of us took the road of rebellion.
Let me show you a clip that is important to me, because you became a mega star before we even used the term. But you also sacrificed a lot and risked a lot. Here's a clip of you talking with President John Kennedy during the Civil Rights era, a time where people, particularly black artists, but any artist, was honored to be talking to a president, and you talked to him. Let me show the clip.
As a Negro and as an American, I have many questions, and I'm sure everyone does.
I want to make it very clear, Harry, that on this question of equality of opportunity for all Americans, whether it's in the field of civil rights, better minimum wages, better housing, better working conditions, jobs, I stand for these things.
I thought Kennedy should be taking a look at the movement, which he did not know too much about.
He's getting ready to run for president, challenging the Democratic nominee, presumed, who later became president on civil rights. You helped to really be the backbone to Dr. King and to Nelson Mandela. I remember when I went over as an election observer with Y.T. Walker for the election in South Africa, they said we would have never torn down apartheid without Harry Belafonte.
I think that statement carries more generosity than actuality. I think that we did a great deal. A lot of us did here in America on the anti-apartheid movement. Thousands of young people were engaged like they're engaged today. A lot of people sought to dismiss them as irrelevant and that we were just bleeding hearts. Well, you know, a bleeding heart has been America's #1 tool for goodness. Sitting with John Kennedy, to be prodded. He needed to be led. He needed to be awakened to the issues of our day that he was not as in-depth familiar with as he should have been, just as I believe now is the only thing that I find missing from Barack Obama is a nation that's at his back. Tea Party is there. A lot of people making a lot of noise, but he did not have and does not have and will have, because I predict it's here and it's coming. He will have what you see on Wall Street is that armada that's on its way to let the world know that there's an America that's awake, an America that's thirsty for truth, an America that demands on having things in another way, and is that way in a lot of places here in America. And a lot of people said to us in the beginning when Rosa Parks, the most unlikely thing was a black woman's feet hurt on a bus in Montgomery is the start of your movement. What are you smoking? You know, get out of here and go find a life. And I said, we found a life, we're going to show you one. And from that little humble beginning, we changed the future of America. And I think exactly the same thing is happening down on.
So when you see things like Occupation Wall Street and others, given what you see movements before grow and become history-changing movements, you don't discount things because you've seen things come from the bottom up and really change government.
I not only don't discount it, but I recognize the fact that when things happen, that's the only way they happen, coming from the bottom up.
You waited a long time to write your memoirs and to allow this film to be done, and you worked meticulously at it. What do you want generations from now to know about Harry Belafonte? What is the legacy you want to leave?
That there's no condition too severe and no opportunity missing where you cannot, under all conditions, make a difference. It's just how you choose to do it and are you committed to truly wanting to make a difference.
We'll show part 2 of my interview with Harry Belafonte on tomorrow night's show. Truly a moving man and truly a moving interview. Ahead.